All right, Mr. Russell, sir, thanks so much for taking time out for this interview on behalf of LRM. I want to thank you so much. And
Thank you. Happy to be here.
yeah, man, this is you got a great film here, Witchboard.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was I haven't had so many audible visceral reactions out loud watching a movie, like yelling at the screen and stuff like that in some time. So thank you for that, sir.
Well, great, and that's our job. We're trying to do our best to give the fans the full experience.
Nice, nice. Well done. Well done. Let me well, and for the folks, I'm gonna talk to the folks here for one moment that are not familiar, and I'm sure that the fans of LRM site are, but for those that are not, this is legendary director Chuck Russell. He's given us some amazing films throughout the time of Hollywood history. I mean, from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise to The Blob and even The Mask. Just very honored to be talking to you today, sir. So on behalf of LRM, thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Now, let me ask you, sir, what inspired you to make Witchboard?
I wanted to return to horror. I started my career with Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and The Blob, and they were both very successful, and they're still remembered today, which is I'm very grateful for. Um, I always intended to do another horror film, but at that time I wanted to get into comedy. I wanted to do The Mask. I wanted to get into action, and I got to work with Dwayne Johnson and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I didn't want to get stuck in horror, which can happen as a young director. But I didn't mean to be away this long. It takes the right project where I can really top myself. That's the challenge. After two successful horror films that seem to be memorable to people,
Sure.
I wanted to do something where I could do everything I ever wanted to do in the horror genre and just blow it out. And then the Witchboard property came up, and I thought, well, I'd been very interested in pendulum boards. They predate Ouija boards. They were around since ancient Egypt, and they were a very powerful spell casting and summoning device. So it's a cautionary tale. I'm not trying to popularize these things. And I won't
It
touch them.
definitely is a cautionary tale. I
I
mean,
won't
with the events that unfold, folks should stay away.
we try to dramatize these things responsibly. So we're warning
Sure.
people against it. People don't try pendulum boards and Ouija boards. I won't get near myself personally.
Nice, nice. Yeah, there's a lot of fallout that comes from messing with this thing, folks. So I'll side with Mr. Russell here and say stay away from him. Um, wow, okay. So and with this particular film, actually, let me back up a little bit. You mentioned you said you got to work with Dwayne Johnson and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Which
Right.
film was that for?
Well, with Arnold, it was Eraser.
Nice. Okay. The Eraser, the great film with the high-tech weaponry and everything. That's
Correct. I got a note from Naval Intelligence that I almost got it right regarding
really,
the. Well, I researched these things. So
yeah,
one
nice.
where I got my info, but no strange sources,
Great.
but the research. And then Scorpion King with Dwayne Johnson. It was his
Oh
first
man,
full leading role, you know.
that's a great film. I still remember where the
Dwayne,
theater.
Kelly Hu and Dwayne Johnson.
Nice. That really helped him get it, like make that pivot into action and everything. I recall watching that fondly in the theater in Virginia, Potomac Mills. It was a while ago. It was very enjoyable, especially because I was a huge fan of the Mummy franchise, as most folks are.
Dwayne appeared in The Mummy, and I would go to work at Universal to shoot Scorpion King, and they had a huge poster of Dwayne in The Mummy. And I said, Dwayne, I thought you told me you only worked 2 days on that show. Because he became such a wrestling star, they promoted it with him.
Right. Wow. He had only in the Mummy he had a an original, I mean, he had a cool part, but it wasn't a whole lot of scenes though.
He told me, Chuck, I only spoke fake Egyptian. I was only working 2 days. And then they made a weird creature out of him. I was like,
Okay.
well,
The
we're gonna give you
Scorpion
the whole
King.
we're gonna give you
Yeah.
the whole treatment in Scorpion King.
Nice, nice. Well done, sir. This guy's a legend, folks. So many amazing things to the world of filmmaking. Awesome. Now, for the particular film, for this version of Witchboard, now is this a remake or is this a like a reimagining, completely different?
Yeah, I know it's just semantics, but I don't do these things unless there's a reason. So for me, I wanted to go back to horror. I wanted to wait till I had the right vehicle so I could outdo myself. But honestly, in my mind, this is the third of my trilogy of reimagining classic horror. So Elm Street, they actually stopped the franchise after number two. They weren't sure if they were going to go ahead with number three, and they asked me, what's a new direction for the series? And we were so successful. It's the most successful independent film that year, I think.
Wow.
And then The Blob similarly got into the pop culture, and that this is similar to The Blob in that I respect the original, but I'm not
Sure.
remaking the original. It's not like okay, scene for scene.
Right.
These people started to ask me, "Oh, you're remaking The Blob. Who's going to be the Steve McQueen role?" I
Hmm.
realized I had to kill that character immediately.
All right. Yeah.
The
Stop.
first 20 minutes of The Blob, you see the kid in the leather jacket you think is going to be the lead.
Right.
Spoiler, he's the first guy to get graphically blobbed.
He's getting
And
out of
after
there.
that, I had the audience in the palm of my hand because
Right.
they
Yeah. You got him on you got us on the hook, you know?
then honestly, there was another opportunity in Witchboard where fortunately Kevin Tenney, who directed the original, just saw it last week and loved it. I thought he was going to
Really?
kill it.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I thought he'd be upset, but
Yeah, this he did the original film.
he wrote a lovely review for us
Really? Wow.
because I honor these films. In other
Sure.
words, he recognized the resonance of his film. I honored our memory of it. I honored its place in pop culture.
Sure.
There's key moments that tie it in, obviously.
Right.
To be honest, I turned it down originally because I didn't want to do a Ouija board movie, and I realized it's been too many. So I
It's
realized,
a Hollywood trope, right? Ouija boards,
man,
right?
Kevin's was the first one back in the
Sure.
80s.
Yeah.
But the I'd also been developing a movie about pendulum boards,
Oh,
like The Mask. I'm fascinated with a magical prop that
nice.
drives the story.
Right.
Our film, the pendulum board itself, is a one of a kind. It's the original pendulum board. It's centuries old, and it's stolen from a museum. So I used all the real facts about what pendulum boards are and why they
Sure.
work. They're
Sure.
for spell casting. There's not an alphabet on this. There's ancient symbols that mean different things to different characters. It's
It was
quite.
visually interesting. Like I've never seen that was a nice pivot away from the
I knew it
regular
would
board that
be.
I'm used to
I,
seeing.
I knew it would be. It was fun to imagine how I would create that on film.
Wow. Okay.
That was the number one thing, and that had been in my sometimes just an atom of a molecule
Wow.
you first, and for me it was
In the
pendulum,
back.
and everything about Wicca and witches. I'd realized there's also been a lot of films about witches, honestly, but they're usually a shadow. It's usually
Right.
just horrible woman, and at the most you'd see that she was hung or something.
Yeah, this is a fresh take. I mean, that opening scene, it's got a lot of elements of action and it all comes together great, sir.
I really I have a short attention span in real life. Even when I'm writing a script, if I feel okay, I know this movie, one kid's going to die at a time, I do a U-turn.
You're
You
killing
know?
expectations. I mean, great job. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, Let me ask you now, that board, it's clear that you do a lot of research because it all feels like authentic. And even for you to mention about the tidbit from Eraser, I mean, that's like an Easter egg here, in this interview that you got so close. I mean, that was in the
Ladies and gentlemen,
90s.
those guns from Eraser exist, I promise you.
Wow. That's wild. That was one of my favorite films back in the especially on VHS those days. Man, great times. Now, how did you handle the effects in this in Witchboard?
The look, the effects were one of the reasons I did it. I love practical effects.
Okay.
And there's a little bit of David Copperfield in those of us who do that. In other words, you want to create a real full-scale magical effect.
Wow.
How do I do that without harming the cast?
Right.
They have to trust me. The reason practical effects, it's not just, some snobbery or something. I
Hmm.
helped pioneer CGI in The Mask. I love the technology.
Sure. Yeah.
I love the technology, but that was appropriate for comedy and dance and Jim Carrey. When I want to scare the hell out of people, I rely on practical effects. There all kinds of filmmaking are valid
Sure.
in it, But the reason practical effects work so well is they age very well.
Right.
I still have fans that people that want to do interviews about Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and The Blob. These were made decades ago. But I believe because I always focus on caring about the characters. If you care about the characters, the scare will work. If you
Interesting.
don't care about the characters, maybe you're going to get a pop scare, but it's people are going to be on their cell phones and getting popcorn.
Sure. They're not invested into it or anything.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm all about story and characters first.
Right.
If I do practical effects, the actors are scared shitless. No matter, no
While
matter
they're
what
on set and
they tell you
everything.
later, no matter what they tell you, when the lights go out and you're on that practical set and the bell rings and everyone's quiet and out of the corner of their eyes they can see 20 effects people ready to
Oh
ready,
man, right. They
ready to
getting the
pop.
willies. Okay.
Right. So there's a different performance. You can't get that on a green screen stage.
That's true. Yeah, because then that I can see
Fear
that.
come- and fear is a herd instinct.
Right.
So there's something that's communicated right from the performance when they're the suspense that's created when they know entering that bedroom or in our case as a shower scene,
Right.
when they know something big's going to happen and they're going to actually do it. There's a different tension in their bodies, and the scare works. And then, frankly, years later, that effect will still work if it's a practical effect.
Right. It's almost more
So
authentic in a way. I guess those
it is.
actions there along the
So
way.
when you see this film, Madison Iseman is probably one of the bravest actresses I've ever worked with because she's like, I'm good for another take, Chuck, no problem. She was as good as Schwarzenegger. She,
Awesome, man.
well, if you see the bedroom, the whole bedroom is built 8 feet in the air. The
Really?
bedroom and bathroom, everything that happens to Madison, she really did. So all those
Wow.
hands coming up out of the bed
I
and
was gonna
grab.
ask about that effect. That was another moment where I had to blurt out loud, that
That's,
and
that's it's one of my favorite shots I've done actually in my career because it
wow.
really came out even better than it was in my head.
Sure. Yeah, it's very well.
There's a dozen puppeteers under that bed. The bed is on a platform. I don't want to give away too
Don't
much,
give
but
it all away. Yeah, let's leave some spoilers for
what happens in that bathroom? It is a bottomless bathtub for real. She went
Oh
straight
wow.
down, and there was some danger of her hitting her head on the way down. So, those
You're
illusions are
juggling all of this while you're making the movie.
well, we plan it carefully, man. I mean,
Sure,
I've
sure.
never had anybody hurt, and I hope I don't, knock on wood.
Yeah,
But these are, they're thrilling for a reason, and that communicates to film very well. So
definitely.
and I think it's nice to let the audience know their practical effects. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, right. It actually
proud of my kids, what they did, what the cast did. Um, it ends up being a great part of the entertainment.
for sure. Definitely. I agree. Yeah. And folks do want to see some like authentic effects now, especially with so much CGI, whereas I have nothing against CGI at all, but I guess folks do want that authentic feeling when they're watching the movie and that
CGI
realism, like
CGI is
Cronenberg.
a great tool, but we're doing real horror,
Right.
contemporary horror. We don't want it to be. This is going to sound weird, but H.G. Wells, who was a writer at the last turn of the century, known for War of the Worlds and Time Machine,
Yeah.
he wrote about writing fantasy.
Okay.
He he said, when anything is possible, nothing's interesting. So we're
Hmm.
trying to present scares like, what if this shit really happened? And I
Right. Okay.
believe I believe in a spiritual world. I
Right.
believe in spiritual good and spiritual evil.
Definitely.
We've all experienced it, but
Sure.
people may not be willing to admit it. So for me, these events, whether they're happening in a human being's imagination or somehow
Hmm.
manifesting, I believe they're real, and I'm caution against them. I believe
For
if
sure.
you're going to manifest, do it with good intention.
Yep. You
Um,
don't want that stuff happening with the
well,
Firebird.
well, Wicca is popular still today.
Yeah, you go in the bookstore or, and you're checking out and they got them right at like, right at the checkout where the candy bars are and stuff.
Well, there's a danger of obsession with these things. So while there's manifestation with good intentions, I just caution. I caution against all these things, and
Definitely.
we show some of the outcome that's potential when you really go down that road. I
Yeah.
don't advise it.
You take folks down the road here in Witchboard, Chuck. Thank you so much. When can we tell folks to
We'll
at
start.
L
They can start. I'm having so much fun with the internet. It's a new world with TikTok and everything.
Okay. It
So we're
is.
having a blast with it because I have a short attention span anyway. I love seeing like a 10-second clip of my film blasted out.
Nice.
So go to Witchboard Movie 2025,
Okay.
Witchboard 2025, and you'll get our website and check us out on social media.
Nice.
And Jamie Campbell Bower's amazing in the film from Stranger Things. Madison Iseman's a big star now from Annabelle and Jumanji. And she's the gal I'm bragging on just for being brave and going through all this with me.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like a champion. I mean,
She is. She
that's
is.
some hard work there, and it turned out great. So, thanks so much for joining this interview today, taking time out from your schedule to talk to LRM, and we wish you
I'd
the
love
best.
I'm going to check you out just for my own entertainment. You're really fun to talk to, man.
All
Good to
right,
meet
yeah, man. Anytime you want to rap with me, I'll I'll shoot up. Y'all have my details, but yeah, check me out. And
you. All right. No, I'm going to watch your show. I mean, I want
oh
to see.
yeah, okay, great, great. Yeah, once it's up, we'll definitely I'll make sure I send the link. And oh, and that cat, man, that was a creepy cat, sir.
By the way, my production team wanted to kill me
Yeah.
because cats are notoriously impossible to use in a movie set.
Oh
And
wow.
small scale
How'd
CGI.
you get it to do all that? Yeah.
I love animals, man.
Oh
I
wow.
same thing with the dog on the mask. I'm
Okay.
an animal
Oh
person.
yeah, man, Milo. That's
This
my
cat,
dog is named Milo, actually.
fantastic. This cat is a star, man. It was one cat, no double. I
Really?
want which is familiar. So when you see that cat in Witchboard,
Right.
it's out because that's when bad shit
Yeah,
happens.
I know, man. That cat was giving me the willies when it would pop up. I was like, oh no, this is not a good sign when that thing,
It's
it is super
Tatiana.
intelligent, so
It's Tatiana. She's becoming a cat star, I hope.
awesome. Man, all right, Chuck. Thanks so much.
You will, man. Thank you.
You too. Talk to you. Bye.